Hi there, and welcome to the Race Advisor's walkthrough review of the Racing Consultant. And this is a tipping service that we're looking at this week, and this is the first tipping service that we've looked at in a walkthrough review. And you can see their sales page here. Top class racing tips from $9.99, an average of £240 per month to £10 stakes, and we got some information about what you get and long-term profits, and it's quite a simple sales page, one of the shortest, one of the simplest that's out there. So let's come over to the Race Advisor Tips to Proofing, where we've been proofing this service for quite a while, and let's take a look at how this service has actually performed. Now, the last 30 days on this service has been doing very well. We can see that at the moment the settings are the last 30 days to SP odds and flat stakes, and that's the default setting on the Race Advisor. Why is that the default setting? It's because those are the settings that are the hardest to make the profit to. In fact, there's very few tipsters that make long-term profits to SP at flat stakes. It's very, very difficult, and that gives us the hardest starting point possible. If they can make profits to SP, then you know you are fine. If they can make profits to Betfair SP, advised odds, then that's great. If they can make profit to advised odds, then you know that best odds guaranteed is going to make you a little bit more most of the time. So looking at this, we can see that they've had a very good run over the last 30 days, 17 units profit, 23% strike rate, and a 12% return on investment to SP. Now, I very much doubt that at flat stakes that is going to last going across all the time periods. The reason I say that is because I know the majority of tipsters that do make profits long term over SP. And we can see here, if we change it to quarterly, this has already dropped down to 6.45 units. Strike rate is still good, but the return on investment has gone. If we go up to bi-yearly, I'd expect that to disappear, and this isn't a bad thing. I need to specify this isn't a bad thing. This is expected. We expect results like this to SP. This doesn't mean that the service can't make us a lot of profit. So this is as expected. Okay, so this gives us a ballpoint figure to say that when this service is doing well, it can make a profit at SP. When it's on a bit of a down streak, it struggles to SP, but my guess is that advised odds will be sitting at a decent profit, and there we are. As we can see, even though it had this, we can see here this really big downswing period. It's picked up nicely, but it's still in profit even after this long downswing. So let's start our analysis at all-time advised odds to flat stakes, and I'm doing it to flat stakes. It gives us a base level to see whether the advised stakes improves it or not. Now we can see here a 94 unit profit. We first started proofing this service on the 6th of August 2014, which means we've been proofing them for just under a year. We've got 1,073 selections, so you can say that we've got a lot of selections from this service. We've got a good estimate of how they're going to perform going forwards. Now at advised odds, we've got a good strike rate of 22%. I like this. This is above 20%. And above 20% is always happy. That means downswings are generally manageable. The return on investment has been 7%. And again, that's pretty healthy return on investment. Don't forget, that's an average with what you'll get on every bet placed. So on every one of these 1,073 bets, you're going to be making an average of 7% to advised odds. We can see that they did, I mean, these downswings are kind of pretty normal. They did suffer a big downswing here from December, which lasted up until March. It started to pick up again then, and it's now come back to actually what looks to be 97 was the high, 99 was the high point there, 102. So it's actually come back to a new high point now, and it's recovered well, and we would expect to see a few more of these sort of patterns now, with the slope increasing. And in fact, if you draw a line, I'm going to add a line on here while I speak, so you can see that line coming in. We can see from here to here there's been a nice increase, and we'd expect to see this pattern repeat again. Most tipster services, you see the patterns repeat time and time again. So far things are looking pretty good. Let's look at advised stakes, see how that affects this downswing. And we can see that actually to advised stakes, the downswing has been far, far less prominent. And if we draw another line from the beginning to the end, we can actually see that this has been consistently on the up. We've had a few long periods over here where we've been level, made some small losses, come back, but the general trend has been up without that large downswing experienced to flat stakes. And that's very interesting, that's very telling, because a lot of tipsters, when you look at advised stakes, they actually either make a lower return on investment, and notice here the return on investment is higher. It's 8% to advised stakes, and it was only 7% to flat stakes. Whereas most tipsters you'll find make a lower return on investment to advised stakes, because they don't really know the edge they're getting on bets. So they're not sure when they should be betting more or when they shouldn't. They normally put higher stakes when the odds are lower, so there's a bigger chance of winning, and lower stakes as the odds get higher. But when you see an increase in return on investment from the flat stakes, which were, if we go back quickly here, we can see the flat stakes had a return on investment at 7%, big downswing. Advised stakes had a return on investment of 8%, no big downswing. That indicates that the tipsters really know what they're talking about in terms of the edge on their bets, and that always actually gives me confidence in the tipsters. That's something you should be looking out for in a tipping service that offers advised stakes. Now 157 units profit over the last year to advised stakes. I should also point out that we check advised stakes were available when the selections are sent, so you know that these are odds that are available. And 157 units profit in less than a year, I would say that's pretty good going. I mean, at £10 bets, that's £1,574 profit, which is actually pretty much probably what they're claiming here on their average of £240 profit. It's probably pretty much around that figure. So that claim is quite true if you can stake the £10 bets. Of course, if you can go to £20 bets, you're looking at over £3 in the last year. And considering that it's just $9.99, that's a pretty good return on that. But let's dig a little bit further in here. Let's dig a little bit further in now we've got this, because this service offers quite a few bet types. Let's take a look first of all at the back bet types, and we can see instantly that the back bet types produce the majority of the profit. We do get that downswing more prominent again. We're still on advised stakes, so we do get that downswing more prominent again when we just look at the back bet types. The strike rate has decreased slightly, which is expected. Obviously each way bets and other bet types help to decrease help to increase the strike rate. But notice the return on investment has jumped up from 8% to 13%, because we're betting less. We've dropped from over 1,000 bets to 664 bets, so it's not quite half the amount of bets, but it's not far off it for nearly a double, 100% increase in the return on investment. So that's quite telling. You'd need a bigger bankroll, because obviously the strike rate has dropped and the swings are bigger, but the return on investment is higher. So most of the profit we can see is coming from back bets. Let's take a look at place bets. Okay, looking at place bets, we can see there haven't been many. There's only been 4. It's made a good profit, but with 4 we can't really, there's not enough data to statistically make an assessment as to whether we should include or exclude them. Going on to each way bets, we can see that these have been profitable. 26% strike rate. 225 bets, a nice 12% return on investment. So, and that increase in strike rate would help to level out the strike rate and the downswings from back bets. This is definitely something we would want to be looking at as well. Do they offer lay bets? Let's take a quick look. They do offer lay bets, and again, 30 kind of would like a bit more. There's only been 24 wins. But lay bets, the return on investment is 2%. But again, these are a lot of tipsters are now using lay bets as a way to even out their downswings. Just keeps those downswings a little bit softer, a little bit gentler, which is really good psychologically. We can't see if this is going to be long-term profitable or net or not yet. It'll probably be hovering around break even, looking at these figures at the moment. But that's fine. Break even on lay bets is fine if it helps us to even out downswings. So far we'd want to include all the back place, each way and lay, but we're still short of maybe 100 or so bets from the count. Now immediately doubles. Let's look at doubles. They've been 12. Again, that's not really enough, especially with doubles, but none of them have won yet. So we might want to think twice about taking the double bets from this tipster. Don't forget, if you're looking at the analysis of a tipster yourself, you can consider you don't have to bet all bet types. So for me, I would probably not be betting on double bets from this tipster, but I would be monitoring them because we haven't got enough yet. I'd like to see maybe another 50 or 60 or up to 100 at least, really, probably bets come in. That would be my ideal, and see where it stands then. But I'd just be paper trading those in the meantime. I'd be monitoring them rather than actually placing money on them. There are no trebles. I think there were some each way doubles. Let me have a look. Yeah, okay, so we've got some each way doubles. Now, interestingly, although the doubles weren't winning, the each way doubles here are looking pretty strong. 13%, 12%. Again, on these types of bets, we'd want to see more than this, really, to be sure that it's going to make a profit going forwards. But I'd be happy to be putting these included. I'll be betting on these with this tipster, and I'd be including the each way doubles, but I wouldn't be including the doubles. So overall, we can see. I'm not sure if there's been any forecasts. Let's have a quick look at forecasts and reverse forecasts, see if this tipster's had any. Okay, so there's been no forecasts. There's been no reverse forecasts, I doubt. Oh, there have been a few reverse forecasts. Look at that. And on reverse forecasts, we can see this tipster's just not doing well on them. Lost all of them but one. Only getting a 3% strike rate. That'd be another one I would be monitoring. Any bet type that I haven't seen that the tipster is making a profit on, I would not be betting on. I'd be paper trading that, monitoring it, seeing how it was doing, and then considering after maybe 100 bets or even 150 bets paper traded, then considering whether I'm going to remove it forever or start bringing it back in to the portfolio of selections that I'm taking from this tipster. But don't think that you have to take every selection from a tipster. A lot of tipsters don't actually analyze their bet types in as much detail as you would think, which is where this service on the Race Advisor can really help. Trixies, okay, is not enough there to know. Place pots, no place pots, no quad pots. And the last few, let's have a quick look at the trebles. One each way treble. Again, that's not enough to make a judgment on. A few each way trixies. Again, these have been highly unsuccessful. Not really enough data to make a judgment. And then some each way patents. So what I would be looking at is I'd be looking at back bets, place bets, each way bets, lay bets, and each way double bets from this tipster. Any other bets any other bet types I'd be paper trading and monitoring to see how they perform, and that is going to make a big difference to the performance. So I mean, overall, what I'm seeing here is a tipster. They clearly know their edge. We can see that they're making long-term profits. I mean, the last 30 days, let's just take a look at this to advised odds. We didn't do that. 15 units profit in the last 30 days to advised odds. A 24% return on investment. That's pretty good going. In the last quarter, that will have been in the downswing as expected. But since we've been proofing them, oh, and this is just the back bets. Sorry, this is just the back bets. Let me go back to the quarter there. All bet types over the last quarter. There you go, 93 units profit. Even over that downswing in the last quarter, it's made 93 units profit. I apologize, I only had back bets selected, and we can see now that the cause of that downswing was the back bets during that quarter. So, but the other bets buoyed this up. So it's been profitable in the last 30 days. It's been profitable over the last quarter, and we can then see it's also been profitable since we began proofing. So overall, this service looks to be strong. We know that straight away that the tipsters know what they're doing, because the return on investment to flat stakes is lower than to advised stakes, so they're aware of the odds, they're aware of the value that they're getting on the horses and on their selections. So they're not just increasing stakes on lower priced horses, they're actually increasing stakes where they've got a better edge, where they've got a better advantage. So we know they've got a good understanding of betting, and overall this tipster, to me, on their results looks strong. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut out of here into Excel, and I'm going to do an analysis using all-time results just to back place each way lay and each way doubles to see how that affects our return on investment and our profit figures. So I'll be back in just a moment with those details. Okay, so here I have exported straight from the database the bets that we just looked at, so the back bets, the place bets, the each way bets, the lay bets, and the each way doubles, so the ones that look to be strongest. And I've got some of the data here. The horses, you can see it straight from the database because I've only got horse IDs and course IDs rather than the actual names, but we don't need that because all we're interested in is the payout, and this is to advised odds, of course, because that's how we're looking. I just wanted to see what the difference was if we just focused on those bets. So let's just do some calculations here. We've got the profit, and if we take the profit, so we can immediately see there's quite a significant increase in profit. It was just over 150, 155 I think before. Now it's 170. Let's do wins, bets, strike rate, and return on investment, so we can just see everything over the whole lot. So number of wins, 226, and that's from 1,016 bets. So we haven't actually lost that many bets, but they're all the bet types that don't make profits for this service. The strike rate is 22%, so again the strike rate hasn't really changed. But now let's take a look at the return on investment. Now you see this is where we see the big difference. So the return on investment is 17% instead of 8%. And we've done that just by focusing on the bet types that these tipsters have historically shown themselves to be the best in, and remove the ones that we're not sure about, or the ones that they've shown themselves not to be very good at selecting. So there you can see the difference in making there you can see the difference in just using specific bet types that we've looked at in this video. And lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do a quick graph so that we can see what it would be like. There we go, let me just put that down there. We've got an issue here with some of the values. Let me just fix that issue, 1 second. There we go. There we go, that's fixed that issue. There we are. Okay, so let's just select This is the what I've made here is a column that just has the rolling profits. So I'm just going to make a quick graph, quick line graph here, so we can see what those downswings are like. So we can see that they're more pronounced now than they were. But the line, we put a trend line onto this. Let's just throw a trend line in quickly. You can see that the trend line going through this is just a complete linear growth, straight up. Of course, we go above it, we go below it, we go above it, we go below it, we go above it, and that's the same with any market, any type of betting, be it horse racing, stock markets, forex, whatever you do, it'll be above, below, but this is a consistent, nice, linear, smooth upward motion that we're getting from these selections. So overall, I would say that the Racing Consultant looks to be a very strong service. They look to be specifically strong. I would focus on the back bets, the each way bets, the place bets, the lay bets, and the each way doubles. Those are the bets bet types I would be focusing on only from them. The rest I would be paper trading and monitoring. They got a good strike rate, a continuous upward growth, and although we are seeing some downward streaks, there is nothing too bad going on if we're betting to advised odds. So I hope this video has given you a good insight into the Racing Consultants. If you want to see more details about them, just click the button below this video and you'll see all the information about the Racing Consultants on their own pages. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye for now.